Alright guys, so I'm gonna try and do this fast because my battery's dying. But like I was saying before my freaking memory decided to go out, I'm gonna be doing a story time for you guys today, and this story time is about the time I ate a freaking edible and I thought my life was over, basically. So this happened, it was like the first year I moved to California, so that was 2015. It was my friend's birthday, so it happened around the end of August. So when I first moved out here, I came here, I didn't have a job. So what I was doing was I was putting ads on Craigslist for hair braiding. So this girl reached out to me and she was like, oh yeah, I just want to get 2 braids in my hair, but I would need you to come to my job. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I work at a weed shop, basically. I'm like, well, at least she's honest from the beginning, so I don't know, maybe it's fine. But I also brought my cousin with me just in case, because she wasn't, she didn't have work at the time. So I was like, girl, come with me real quick so I can braid this girl's hair. So she came, she wasn't doing anything else. So that's that. We got to the weed shop. This sounds so funny saying that. I got to the weed shop and I was braiding this girl's hair. She was super nice and she started talking to me and she was like, oh, so do you smoke? And I'm like, no, you know, I've never smoked. I know some of you guys are gonna think I'm lying, but I've never smoked. And I'm like, no, I don't, but I had an edible one time in college and that was it. And I was like in our little apartment building, so I just went home and went to sleep after because that shit hit me. So she was asking me like, oh, do you smoke? And I said no. And then I told her, like I said, that I only had 1 edible before. And she was like, well, do you guys want something today? And then I'm like, well, don't I need a card? And she was like, no, girl, I'll hook you up. I'm like, okay, you know, whatever. I finished braiding her hair and I go to the bathroom to wash my hands because I remember she had like blue hair or something, so my hands were all blue. So I went to wash my hands, and when I came back, she had already given my cousin a brownie. And so I'm like, okay, thank you. You know, she paid me, we left. And it's so funny because I remember we got in the car to leave and me and my cousin's like, oh, we gotta go get some snacks. We're gonna have the munchies after we eat this. We gotta go get some snacks. So we basically bluffed and we did not eat the edible that day. We actually saved it. Well, we weren't really saving it, but we didn't end up eating it until like 2 or 3 weeks later, probably like 2 weeks later. So 2 weeks after we got the brownie, it was my friend's birthday dinner. So we were about to go downtown LA to a restaurant. Oh, and before we left, before I was done braiding her hair, she was like, it's really, really strong, so don't eat a lot. Like, don't eat a lot. We were like, okay, like, thank you for telling us, because, girl, We were headed out, and I was driving. I drove my cousin and I downtown, and she was like, I think she decided, it was so long ago, but I think she decided like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have some tonight. And then I'm like, girl, I'm not having none because I'm driving. Like, I don't know what it's gonna do to me. I am not having any. She was like, girl, just have some, live a little. I'm like, okay, fine, cut me a piece. So she cut us both an 1/8 and we took it with us and we were gonna eat it. I don't know what we planned on doing, but we took it with us. So we got to the restaurant. Of course, you know, people are always late. And so we were waiting for everybody to get there. We hadn't been seated yet. We were like at the front. Girl, let's just eat it right now. Like, whatever. I drove here. We're safe. Like, let's eat it right now. And she was like, no, girl, I'm not trying to eat it on an empty stomach. I'm like, girl, you about to eat in like 20 minutes. Let's just eat it. So, girl, we must have ate the 1/8. Mind you, do you know what an 1/8 is? We cut the brownie in half. Cut it in half again. Then one of those little forks, we both had a half of that. Okay? Let's just set the tone. Let me just paint the picture for you guys. So we both ate an 1/8. I don't know, 30 minutes later, we sat down at the table, and mind you, this table, it was like a horseshoe shape. So it was like in the shape of a U. And while we weren't on the end, we weren't in the very middle. We were like on the side in the middle. So I think we probably had ordered our food by now, and I'm like, girl, are you high? And she was like, I feel it a little bit. And I'm like, girl, I don't feel it. Like, what the heck? I don't feel it. And so probably like 10 more minutes go by, and I find myself just gazing out the window. Like there's a window behind the table, so I'm just gazing out the window and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I high right now? Like what the heck is going on? And y'all, oh my goodness, that was like the worst day of my whole entire life. So I realized that I was getting high when I started acting so loud and just crazy. Like I remember the waiter had like mixed up somebody's drinks or something, and I must have shouted across the table like, I think that one is hers because something something. And then I sat back like, did I really just shout across the table like that? Like around these people that I don't know, did I really just shout across the table? And I'm like, okay, I'm noticing things are different. At this point I still don't know I'm high, but I'm like, am I? Like, could it be? And then another incident happened. There was this guy there, one of my friend's boyfriends, and I heard him whispering to my friend whose birthday it was, like, she looked like she young, like she looked like she like a teenager or something, talking about me. And I must have shouted. It's funny because earlier that day she was talking to me about him, like, girl, he looks so young or whatever. I must have shouted across the table again, like, she said you look 12. And I'm like, just thinking in my head, like, this is the point where my mind is racing, my thoughts are going, and I'm like, am I hallucinating? Am I really doing this? Or is this made up in my mind? Like, I was really thinking that at the time, like, this can't be, this can't be. Then people start speculating. I remember the same dude talking to my friend whose birthday it was again, looking at me and my cousin talking about, I heard him whispering, like, are they high? Like, their eyes are low. And my friend's like, no, they don't smoke, they're not high. And then my other friend came and she was sitting on this side of me, and I don't remember who did it, but somebody put us on blast. Y'all, it was just a whirlwind. Like, before I knew it, people were like, are you high? Are you guys high? And then my friend to the side of me, she's like, did you guys eat that brownie? Just hella loud. And I'm like, will y'all shut up? Because it's like, it's probably like 12 of us there, and probably like 5 of us are really good friends, and the others were like her coworkers and her other friends. And so I'm like, y'all putting us on blast. That's what I'm thinking in my mind, like, yo, y'all need to chill, like, quit telling everybody we high, because now I'm getting paranoid. Now everybody knows, and I'm freaking paranoid. So my friend who was right here on the side of me, she was like, are you guys high? And I guess I was just sitting there like this, like, not talking. And she's like, Carice, are you mad at me? Why won't you talk to me? And I literally, it's not that I didn't want to talk, I could not talk. I was just like this, like, and of course my heart is racing. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, just in my head, like, I hear her, but for whatever reason my brain is not letting me respond. And the crazy thing is that my friend whose birthday it was, we've been friends since we were like 8, and we used to speak in this little language. Yes, it's a legit language. If you ever watch Zoom, they spoke that on Zoom. But we spoke this language, and so while this friend is trying to talk to me and I'm just not able to respond, the only person I can talk to is my friend whose birthday it is. And we had our language, and I'm talking in our language like, oh my gosh, I think I'm high, like, I'm scared. She was like, girl, you're breathing hella hard. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? This is so bad. And I remember too, like, the feeling of being high. I was in my head like, people cannot like this. How do people like to be high? This does not feel good. And I remember I had like a daydream that I was on a city bus, and it was just super bright and I could barely see, and lights were flashing. And then, like, I felt like 1,000 little heartbeats all over my body, just, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it was just bad. At one point I just put my head down, my cousin's on this side, I just laid down on her shoulder, like, they already know I'm high, I don't care, like, I'll do whatever I can do to feel better, like, I'm just about to lay here. Y'all, it was so bad. Like, I was literally, like, in my head so much, like, yo, this has to be laced with something. Like, I am not functional right now, and this does not feel good. Like, if this is what people feel like when they're high, like, they're crazy. Like, this does not feel good. And so I'm in my head, I literally thought, I swear I thought when I came down I was going to have a mental disability. I swear on everything. Like, I'm in my head like, oh my gosh, this is not normal. I knew for a fact it was not normal. I'm like, this is not normal. I'm going to have a mental disability when I come down from this. Like, and then I'm getting scared, even more paranoid. So I'm in my head like reciting everything I ever knew. I'm like, this is my mom's name, this is my dad's name, their address is this is their phone number. Like I was literally just reciting everything I knew. Like do, okay, okay, I know that. Like trying to make sure that I didn't forget or nothing happened, like nothing changed. It was so bad. By this time, everybody knew we were high. Another one of our friends was across the table talking about, y'all got cotton mouth. Ah! And we're just sitting there. And I swear, I took one bite of the sandwich that I ordered. And mind you, this sandwich was so good. Like I have to go back and get it again, but I could not eat it. I was literally like, it was so dry. Girl, I'm trying to drink water. How is water dry? Somebody riddle me this. How is water dry? How? Because that water was dry. Me and my cousin are just like tripping out, okay? Like then people are constantly getting up to go to the bathroom, so I gotta get up and move. I'm like, y'all, I just want to lay here. Like, don't you know I'm high and clearly I'm out of it right now? And so the dinner ended. Well, everyone was like done with their food or whatever. And my friend whose birthday it was, her boyfriend, he eats edibles and stuff like that all the time, I guess. And so I remember I'm still laying on my cousin. Everybody else had like gotten up. And he's like over the little, what is it called? We were at a booth, like a U-shaped booth. So he's like over my shoulder right here, like, y'all that high? I'm trying to be where y'all at. Let me get some of that. Y'all got some more? And I'm just in my head like, if he don't shut his motherfucking mouth, like, bruh, I'm not trying to hear you right now. He's just making a joke about you laughing at my pain. You're basically laughing at my pain. Dinner ended and everybody's taking pictures and stuff. My cousin, I guess she said she was super high too, but she used to smoke sometimes or whatever. And so she kind of knew the feeling more than me. And so she was like trying to hold it together for the both of us because we were both just like out of it. She was in the picture with them. And I ended up just laying on the booth like in the back, like knocking out. And my friend whose birthday it was, she was like, Caprice, you're really not going to take a picture with me? And in my head, I'm like, girl, I can barely talk. Like, what do you mean? No, I'm not taking no pictures. I'm going to lay right here. And tell me why they took a group picture and my shoes were in the background. She posted it on Instagram and tagged me with my shoes sticking out. I'm like, girl, if you don't untag me, like, okay, it might be funny for us who was there to know, but why would you tag me? That's petty. Don't tag my shoes when I'm clearly, like, bitch, I'm not gonna tag you over here drunk in a picture and put it on the internet. Like, what? But anyway, so they're all taking pictures and she's asking me if I'm gonna take a picture. And I can't respond still, so I'm just like laying there. And basically, I don't know if it was the Lord. I swear I was praying like, man, I promise you I will be the perfect person. Like, just bring me down from this high. Whatever you have to do, please just bring me down. Like 20 minutes later, y'all, this is so gross, but I ended up throwing up in the restaurant. Like, it was the end of the night. Everyone was leaving. And our little group of people was still around talking or whatever. Y'all, I must have just thrown up. Ugh. And they said that it looked like The Exorcist. Like how the throw up just goes like super straight and hard and heavy. I must have threw up. After that, the guy who said I look young and the one who was like whispering like, they high. Him and his girlfriend, which I knew his girlfriend, but I think it was like my first or second time meeting him. They're the sweetest people. But they both had me on one arm and they were like walking me out of the restaurant and I'm just like this, like, oh my God. Like I still couldn't talk and I ended up throwing up again and I swear it got on their shoes. They didn't even care. Like, how don't you care? You guys are so nice. So shout out to you guys, you know who you are. And so we finally got outside. They sat me down on like a curb or something and then they just laid my head on his lap and I swear I was like down at that point and I'm like, y'all don't ever eat an edible ever in your life, because I had thrown most of it up by that point. And I'm like, I feel so much better, y'all. Don't ever eat that, don't ever eat that. But I'm still high. And I swear, oh, another thing, sitting in the restaurant when I'm like paranoid and going through it in my head, all I'm thinking is like, I'm not driving home. There's no way I'm driving home. Like, I will literally sleep in this restaurant. I'm not about to get in the car like this because I know I'm out of it. Like, no. How some people be drunk like, oh, I can still drive. No, Nope, I will sleep on this curb. I will pay $100 for this parking before I get in the car and drive home. Like, I had already made up my mind. I didn't know how we were gonna get home or what was gonna happen, but I'm like, I'm not driving. I think because my cousin knew where the car was, and like I said, she was trying to hold it together for both of us, so she walked with the girlfriend, the one who was holding me up, and they went and got my car or whatever. And I remember they went down there, and my cousin told me, she was like, the girl asked like, are you gonna drive? And she was looking like, like I can't drive either. And so she brought the car up. I ended up getting in the car when they finally came up. I'm in the back seat laying down just ready to go. Like, I don't know how I'm getting home, but everybody's outside, I guess, speculating on what to do. Like, okay, who can drive this car? Because my friend whose birthday it was ended up driving me and my cousin home, and she's trying to figure out who's gonna drive her car and all this stuff. So basically the girlfriend who was helping me walk with her boyfriend, she ended up driving my friend's car to our house. I don't know, it was just a whole bunch, but we got home. Basically, my friend whose birthday it was drove me and my cousin home, and I remember, like, it seemed like they were taking so long to figure it out, and I'm banging on the window like, y'all come on, like, I don't feel good, let's go. It seemed like they were out there for like 45 minutes, like, can we leave now? So my cousin was in the front seat of my car, and my friend was driving, and she's just, if you guys ever met her, like, she's just a super chipper, happy person, so she's just talking. And then my cousin ended up throwing up, which she thought she threw up outside the window, but the next day I saw some freaking throw up on my door inside. But anyway, my cousin ended up throwing up, and my friend who was driving us was like, sad, is it my voice? And my cousin is like, yes, like, girl, stop talking. And I remember she must have skirted off so fast, and I'm like, girl, can you not do that? She's like, well, I had to make a U-turn. Like, girl, I'm back here going through it, slow down. Anyway, she ended up driving us home, and y'all, when I tell you I must have slept for like 2 days, like, bruh, never again. And y'all, do not do that. But after I threw up in the restaurant, I felt better, and then I just had to get the rest of it out of me. Like, oh, it was so bad, and I have never eaten an edible since, and I never will. So nope. And we ended up giving the rest of the brownie to my friend's boyfriend, the one who was in my ear talking about, I'm trying to be where y'all at. And I guess he ate it and was like, I don't even feel anything. I mean, I feel like it was the brownie for sure, but I think that being in public and having all eyes on us, like whispering like, are they high, are they high, that made us paranoid and made it like 10 times worse. Y'all, that was the worst feeling of my life. Anyway, that is the story about when I ate an edible and felt like I was losing my life. But luckily, I did not. Thank you guys so much for watching my story time. Hopefully, you were entertained and hopefully you learned something from it. And yeah, if you did like it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me. Leave your comments, feedback, and I'll see you guys next time.